Hello. We all have an inner critic. How about that one? My inner critic, I call her and refer to her as the hag in the attic. Hi, Kim Boudreaux-Smith back with Speaker Bold Truth. And I'm going to introduce you and talk about the hag in the attic, also known as IC, inner critic, Hitta, hag in the attic. And I've even heard some people refer to her as bitch in the basement. Listen, call it whatever you want. We all have one. And this is one of my favorite topics to teach is learning how to manage your inner critic as opposed to it constantly controlling you. And again, I teach this, I'm going to say it, is because mine has its moments with controlling me. In fact, I'm going through a little bit of that right now with revamping of my business services. So, what can you do to overcome your hag in the attic constantly controlling you so you don't remain small and procrastinate and don't lean in and use your voice or use your voice with all the baggage that she carries along with you? First of all, it's a lot of work. For me, sometimes it's daily maintenance. It could be from hour to hour. It can be moment to moment. Some days I don't even know she's around, even though she sits on my desk all the time. One of the things I did to really enjoy her, and yes, I did say enjoy her, was I gave her a persona. I named my hag in the attic. Her name is Ismelda Moore. Ismelda Moore Hag Smith. She wears the most expensive lipstick on the face of this earth because guess what? I buy it for her. She's got some really cool cat eye pointy glasses. I pay for those. She puts her beautiful little tushy in the most expensive rocking chair upstairs in my attic, which has been renovated for her. Any given time, she either has a cigarette or cigar that I do pay for, and a martini in hand with the best vodka that money can buy. She drives this cute little red sports car, and she's that type of person when she backs down the driveway, she never makes it to the street. She puts it in drive, and she's driving over the grass as grass and mud is flying up, cigarette in one hand, martini in the other, and she still manages to flip you off as she drives away. That is my Ismorelda Hag Smith, my hag in the attic. Ever since I did this whole process of giving her a persona, when she pops up or shows up and starts getting loud, I can actually begin to have a dialogue with her as opposed to saying, F you, sister, get to the curb and don't come back, Jack, no more. When we kick her to the curb and try to push her out, she comes back 20 times bigger on steroids. Imagine, for those of you parents out there, trying to outscream your teenager. Listen up. It doesn't work. I don't have kids. I try to out yell my little 3-year-old Black Lab Luna when she's very vocal. Ha, it's such a joke. It doesn't work. Same thing with your hag. When you try kicking her out, she's going to come back 10, 20 times bigger, literally drinking the steroids that you bought for her. You really want her to be your ally, but you have to learn how to manage her and have dialogues with her. So here's a great example of what I do. I am driving to Ford Motor Company to do a presentation, and this, yes, was a year ago, and she's piping up. She has gone from being in the trunk of my car, managing all the emotions, from the back seat, now to the front seat. She's playing with the radio. I just dated myself with the radio. She's pushing the buttons, changing the channels, and she's in my face going, who do you think you are driving to Ford Motor Company? You haven't been in corporate America in 1,000 years. Oh, imposter syndrome. She pulls her up too from the back seat. And then she gets going with the worth and the confidence that she starts chipping at and digging at, like a big, huge block of ice. Chip, dig, chip, dig. And she starts doing all of that. I just had to look at her and go, listen here, sister. I want you around. I appreciate you, but I got this. So hop in the back seat, girlfriend, and manage those other emotions for me. Does she do it? Yes. Because she wants a job description. She wants something to do. She wants boundaries. She wants a job. So she does it. Does she try to hop back in the front seat when I finally pull up into the parking lot and place my car in park? Oh, you bet. That's where I take a moment. I always arrive to my engagements early. That's where I take a moment. It was warm out. I turned the air conditioning on, shut the phone off. I roll the windows down a little bit. So now I've got air conditioning, synthetic air, and then I've got fresh air. I close my eyes and I do some deep breathing. She hops into the back seat on her own. Then I do some positive affirmations and I start having a dialogue with myself. I've got this. I'm worthy. What I have to offer, they need to hear. And then she's good. She's so good. She's like that little kid going, hey, do you want me to stay in the car and manage these emotions, or do you need me in the room with you? Well, I keep her in the car managing the emotions. I don't let her to come into the speaking engagement. But how many of you drag this baggage around with you day in and day out? How many of you ladies out there, and yes, men too, but I'm going to talk to my sisters. I'm going to talk to my ladies in my life. How many of you ladies out there sit there and say, oh my God, I'm spinning. I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my God, I just don't know what to do next. Okay, hag. That's your hag choking you down. So you stay spinning like a tsunami that is boiling up. How many of you go sit in a room and don't even speak up because you're telling yourself, oh, what I have to say, nobody will listen. Okay, that is the biggest bullshit, BS. Those are my initials, Boudreaux Smith, BS, in the whole wide world. That's your hag. She's not in your attic anymore. She's barreled down those stairs and she's got you by the throat. You know why? We gave her this job description as an adult. Quite frankly, studies show it starts when we're early on in age, but I'm not a studier and I'm not a scientific or a researcher. My researcher is I put the shoes on and I walk it and I wear it. And yes, I embrace the suck and I can really suck at all of this. And I can also overcome all of this. One of the things I do is teach women how to communicate and speak so effectively on any stage of their life. But here's the deal. They think I'm going to get them all wrapped up nice and tidy, which I will, based upon their terms, in front of that curtain, the curtain of life, metaphorically speaking. But you haven't tackled what's going on behind the curtain. You know, it's like the Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain. It'd be like going to see a big, huge production like Camelot, and they haven't managed everything, the whole production that's going on behind the curtain. It's a shit show of a mess. And I'm telling you, in front of that curtain, it will come out one way or another. I promise you. I've lived it. I've done it. I've tried to fake it until I freaking make it, which is all BS. I've done imposter syndrome, which is even 10 times worse. It's like wearing a really tight outfit that's digging into you and it just is so uncomfortable and you're sitting there, oh my God, I can't wait to go home to get this outfit off and put on my comfortable clothes or these high heels that are killing me. That's a fake it until you make it. That's an imposter syndrome. Actually, it's just a tinge of the imposter syndrome. So I ask you, what would you like to do? Would you like her to continue to control you? Or would you love to learn how to manage her? And when I say manage her, I don't mean put a blanket over her head and try and shut her up. I don't mean sweep her underneath the carpet. And I don't mean kick her to the curb. Because I promise you, she does come back bigger. I mean manage her. Make her your ally. All she does is want to protect you. We just have to give her the job description of what that protection looks like. And she'll go to work for you. Every so often, she will challenge you and test you. That's what she's there for. And all you got to say is, you know what? Not today. I got this, sister. So ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there listening in to this podcast and what I'm saying today, I want you to know you got this. You got this. Thank you for tuning in.